We are so glad you made it. I made it by the skin of my teeth. Long week. Let's go. Maybe. Eventually. I don't even know if it's working. Is it even working? Is it working? Everyone's muted except for me. This is so bad. I have no idea what's happening.
Club NGMI.
Oh, it is working.
That was the worst intro.
That was the greatest narration of our intro that I have ever. I think we've ever seen.
Could you hear me over the intro?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
You were talking straight over. Is it working?
I can hear you.
Is it working? Yeah.
I couldn't see the video. So here's what happened. I like a half hour ago, I was working on my node, literally an ETH node, and when I don't know about you guys, when I'm at my desk and I'm at like a different setup, I just hit things. So I hit my water because I was at a different spot than I normally was at my desk. So then water goes on my main laptop. I'm like, oh shit, well, I guess I'll do the show from the phone. And then I thought, what am I doing? I have a computer right here that I was working on.
Blender bottles. They have caps. You can't knock them over. It's why
I'm a pint glass guy.
Yeah, mine's.
You just got to have a cover on that. Yeah, you got to have a cover on it so that you can just.
I drink more water when I have an open glass, though.
What kind of logic is that?
Doesn't keep it cold.
Bigger opening, so he'll drink more in a gulp.
See, I can track it when I know how much I'm drinking when I have like a little measuring thing here. So.
So I am literally streaming from Ethereum. I'm streaming from an Ethereum node.
Really?
I know the audio sucks. Yeah, it's run. I tried to shut it down. I couldn't even shut it down. It's literally running right now next to me. You can't see it, but it is. And so that's why everything sucks. I couldn't test my audio. I couldn't even play a YouTube video on this browser to test my audio. So that's what you get. If it's too bad, just stop watching. I don't care. We don't pay you to watch. You don't pay to watch.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Pay to earn or watch to earn.
Watch to earn. Oh, new idea. It's almost as good as Doug's on Soul. Don't know which one's better.
I just got an email. I might have to come back.
That on the ref.
Hey, cut that.
No.
Tony himself has mentioned to me at least twice of different do something to earn schemes that he wanted to run.
Nap turn, sleep turn. That'd be good.
Napster. I mean, that name has a ring to it.
It monitors your heart rate. Anytime more, if you get 8 hours, you get paid. If you get 6, you're down bad.
I like that.
Yeah, it'd be good.
That would be bad. Make people sleep longer. Incentivize good behavior, right? That's what Andrew was talking about.
Maybe people will wake up right in the morning and undercut the floors on OpenSea, right? If they're sleeping to get paid.
It's getting better and better the more we talk about it.
Are either of you even tempted to do the whole step-in thing? I think Lou's into step-in. I'm not even tempted at all.
I am pretty tempted because I said in the chat today, like everyone thinks this is the top. I could see it getting even bigger. Like I could see it getting to the point where like, I think my message in the chat today was like my dad and my older grandparents and, older relatives haven't mentioned it to me yet. And I feel like it does kind of have that staying power for the most part. It's obviously a Ponzi and it's going to get wrecked eventually, but I'm a little hesitant to say that we're at the top, and I got a code. I didn't even buy a shoe yet. So I probably should do that if that's my thesis.
List to earn the Philly. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I can tell that story. As some people know, I was listing my PERS to earn on LooksRare, and then I literally sold my namesake PER, my ENS, dangywing.eth, because I listed them all at the same number, and it's an Astro helmet because you put your .eth name on a cool one. So it was gone, and I'm like, oh shit! And like 20 minutes later, or 2 hours later, I sent them a WETH offer. They didn't take it. Yada yada yada. Fungible John, shout out to Fungible John. We did a pseudo swap today for an Astro helm from my Astro helm. So dangywing.eth, dangywing.pcc.eth is back home. So we got to vault that sucker so I don't do anything dumb again. So yeah.
Oh,
Look what I just got. A package.
Oh,
An unboxing.
Can you wear the hat? I want to see the hat live.
I'm assuming the hat's in the box.
Yeah, I want to see it so I can fun it.
Dangy, so did you actually not know that the logo was going to be on the shipping labels like that? How does that work? They just where do they pull that from?
We're a small group, so that's Chenko's department. Yeah, you can go ask Chenko about that.
Dope.
I don't know. I set up the wallet stuff where you had to have a certain NFT to get in.
Oh yeah, look at that. Look like the dork kid off Sandlot, just floppy,
oh
put it in your back pocket on the way to the baseball
so
diamond. Looks so dumb. The beak's so long too.
How do you even adjust this thing?
I can't believe that.
I actually love the Doug merch though. Like I legit think the Doug merch is good.
I'm wearing this hat.
I love
I will. I am going to wear the
July 4th. Perfect hat for July 4th.
Yes, for sure.
Well, and what's good about, not to FUD the purrs, but like I don't want someone asking me about like what's that PCC.eth thing, because then I have to explain .eth and then I have to explain the sub, like it's a whole thing. This just like it's a logo. No one's asked me about this. It's relatively unassuming. So I like that about our merch too, is that it's low key. It's chill.
Absolutely.
I have a thank you note, and it says Doug loves you and he hopes you enjoy your merch.
Yeah, see, that's just simple. It looks good. Yeah, I like that.
I like the hoodies too. Speaking of low, something might be going a little bit lower with Doug soon. Dropping some alpha.
Oh,
not Doug's on Soul.
Yeah, free, not Doug's on Soul.
I'm not committing to free, not Doug's on Soul.
Yeah, like half a Soul or something, you know.
ETH Doug's might be going a little cheaper.
Free Doug's
we might be releasing the Doug's to the wild soon.
And then making that,
so I can make sure I get the Azuki one.
Yeah, and then you need one Doug to get a Doug on Soul, so then it causes buy pressure on ETH, right? So
on
then
the Soul Doug.
We got the whole flywheel ecosystem going here.
And you got to stake the Doug's in a time locked contract, and then you get a bronze hot dog bun for after 30 days.
And
then might as well stack the Doug's. Might as well stack them.
I like it. That's not a bad, Why don't we just tail moonbirds and just do exactly what they do, but on an extremely smaller scale?
Instead of nesting, call them bunning or something.
Yeah, bunning.
Yeah, it'd work.
Nesting would be like it'd be like the hot dog equivalent would be those gas station things that you just put it on the little roller and it just sits there forever. So it just I don't know what you would even call that. But that's what I'm imagining.
That's how we find that out in our research. We gotta research this in 24 hours. We launch the Discord tomorrow, and then we're ready to go.
Launch the Discord tomorrow. You guys are
crazy. The rotisserie sounds right. I think Josh got it there.
Oh, I think that's I call them the rollers.
The roller, hot dog roller.
Yeah. And we front run Ape Fest and we rent out that pier place the days before Ape Fest and we have a big party. That'd be the best.
It would be very ape-like to just say you're doing a thing on the pier and then don't even rent it out and then say, "Oh, we'll figure it out." You imagine?
I would guess it's an expensive spot.
Oh yeah.
No, Tony, I don't have one. For the sake of my marriage, I returned it. So no, don't have it.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I thought you bought that. I thought you just had it.
I know.
You did.
I forgot that you had the roller. I watched you eat those 12 dogs. Though.
Yeah. So I was. Oh God, Let's talk about last week. Last week was insane. I was literally touching grass. Like I haven't taken a vacation in a while, and I took one last week, and it was the worst. It was literally the worst week to take a vacation from crypto. Because just really the sky was falling.
Or maybe the best. Or maybe the best week, right? You couldn't unplug. It's too hard to unplug.
Well,
I
mean,
it was a terrible weekend to be unplugged.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there was too many like trickle down effects from the Terra thing. that affected
that.
that could have affected your other bags.
I mean, and even like just dumb trade opportunities, like tether price got down to 0.94.
You got that one off though.
I did. I bought some tether, and I was waiting for it to go back up to 1. But then, yeah, so I sold it recently, so I netted like $1,000 in this basically risk-free trade as long as you believe in tether. So
Dingy
yeah,
joined the night crew for a few hours.
Everyone I forget why I was up that late. That night was crazy. The Azuki founder stuff. What like the Azuki founder?
That was last week. That was oh my gosh!
Like
it kind of happened like 8 days
Monday.
Ago. On Monday.
No,
I think we talked about it last.
Because we like barely
talked about it.
We
touched
it,
it.
And then, but his spaces happened on Wednesday, I think, and then the tweet preceding that also happened on Wednesday. Okay,
yeah,
that's just. It seems like that was forever ago because it just got overshadowed by Terra. But I think that was. I think that was probably the. That was probably. Well, yeah, I think that was the whole. I think that's why he released that information that day. There's too much other stuff going on. Easy to bury it.
I was thinking about the spaces because even like Andrew Wang has taken a break from the space because of that spaces. I didn't listen to it, but
well, yeah,
when he took it hard.
When you have guys like, I mean, they were saying he had bad intentions and that he was like almost in cahoots with Zagabon and wouldn't let anybody come up and talk. When it was really just spaces that was rugging them, and then that Pauly guy did his own spaces and was just straight up shitting on Andrew for not being able to bring people up, and then he had the same issue in his spaces. It was hilarious. So yeah, that was.
Get wrecked, Pauly.
Yeah,
Andrew should have just ended it when Zagabon left. Just end it there. That's the whole thing. Neither of you are going to look bad if you keep it running after and letting people come up and just random people who are only going to say negative things. That guy was like there was that one guy screaming, right? Or was that Pauly?
Pauly was pretty heated. He said that people were like at the end were like, "Oh, great spaces, Andrew," and he's like, "Nah, this is the worst shit I've ever seen." Yeah. Like he was just
come to my space.
Like,
we're about to
like, come to my space. We're gonna
everyone.
Go off on Zaga and we're gonna dox and do all this other stuff. So what Zaga did wasn't right, but Pauly handled that like shit. I mean, that guy's just off his
Lou, I think you're out of the four of us, you're the most into spaces culture. Can you explain spaces culture to me? Because it's like it's not Twitch-ish, it's not YouTube stuff, it's not even like a phone. Like, why is it different? Why does it feel weird to me, like looking at it from an outsider's perspective? Like it's just a very weird vibe in there.
It definitely is a different vibe. I think part of it is people hop on and feel a little more like you actually have a voice if you go up there. So I think people get up there and it's like a 15 minutes of fame sometimes. Like even Peter Jennings had his space and people would come up and they would just talk, and it seemed like they just liked hearing themselves talk at times and just kept going on and on. And I don't know, I guess it's like a power trip in a way where you're just like, you are the one that everyone's hearing. And that's sort of like, I don't know. I've heard a lot of people cry on spaces.
Yeah.
There's always like that one weird person that hops up. I know Peter Overzet, when he's done spaces after Club Top Shot, like there's sometimes people come in and just like talk about something completely different or are complaining about something. And he's like, okay, that has nothing to do with what we were talking about. And I think it's just like that idea of like a mini power trip.
They get so emotional. It's like every space that I hop into is so like, it's just emotions everywhere. And I'm like, you guys just gotta like, can we have normal conversations here without tying it into how this is like the greatest day of your life or how, I don't know. It's crazy. I don't like spaces.
Oh, yeah. You know what spaces are good though? Kevin Rose's every single time. No one's crying in there. It's just all great knowledge being dropped.
Yeah. Alpha left and right.
Yeah.
We love Jesus. We love. Isn't it a little weird? Oh, good. Now my internet connection's rugging me. I think it's. Is it just professionalism? Because I think you're right, Lou, that it's just people who aren't used to being in a public forum. But like, why do people get so emotional too, though? I could see like getting stage fright-ish or like just having your own agenda. But why? I don't know. I think that's unanswerable.
You know who'd be a good person to ask that question to is Phil, because he does a lot of the spaces.
Oh,
And that's when I first started hearing the criers, because I hopped on one of his one night, and this girl was talking about like her art, and she was like struggling with the fact that people weren't buying it, or like all the effort that goes in and whatnot, and then just started crying. And it's like it pulls away a little bit of like what you were there listening for, I guess. But it is interesting how many times I've been on there and people have cried. That one, what was the project we went into that one day that was like, they were basically free, and it was like Axios or something. It was like, it looked kind of like the ghost art. Remember that one? I think it was like an LGBTQ they were donating to as part of it. I went on that Spaces, and no one was hopping on to talk. So I hop on to talk. I was like, oh yeah, like it's great. And he's like, sorry, I need a second. And he like almost cried on there. And I'm like, how does this happen on every Spaces?
Lou's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Do you think it's partially because like NFTs are like emotional? Like people have like a hard time, like they're up and down bad all the time, like a lot of money involved, a lot of emotions, like high pressure for some people. Like
Spaces are, you do get more in touch, or there is that you break that barrier that you never were able to break in Twitter, where it's just like you basically just scroll and read, whereas now you're actually like interacting with people that you otherwise like see all the time and almost feel like you know them, right? So maybe that has I think that has something to do with it. But yeah, a lot of emotions, and people just, you're right, Lou, like people just drag things on and never get to their point. Like they get up there and say what they want to, hey, I'm going to talk about this, but then they just like continue until they never get to their point.
Dan, I don't see the request. Dan, could you hit the request button on the Spaces if you want to come talk and like tell us about why you cry during every Club NGMI?
Yeah, we want to hear the crying. We don't just want to hear about it.
That's right. Come step up on the stage. Like, it's an inclusive space. You can, like, if you want it to be your first time on a Spaces, this is a great place for it to be your first time. I also think part of it would be maybe for founders. Like, it does, like for me with the hot dogs, like I've felt a sense of accomplishment that anyone, even my internet friends, minted an NFT project that I made. Like, it's my first time making something like that in the public sphere. So that could be part of it too for founders, of like, they're just excited about that aspect of stuff. I don't know.
The space does feel like way more tight knit, right? Like you almost, even when we got into it, I was like, dang, we have like some pretty close to connect. Like it all does feel like kind of a small, like we're in our own little bubble. Right?
Bubble?
So,
what?
Yeah. Oh, God. We're so early into our bubble.
Yeah. But it actually does feel like
we call it echo chamber, okay? We don't call it a bubble.
Yeah,
bubble, too early.
Whatever. But yeah, like it does feel like, there's just a lot. You're only like one step away from these big influencers, right? Like D's and whatever. So maybe that has something to do with it too.
Basically, best friends with Kevin Rose now because I have two Moonbirds.
Yeah, exactly.
It's true. Well, and Pete Overzet, he's up on the leaderboard.
Yeah,
leaderboard.
I haven't gone there to fill out my info yet. I really need to.
Why?
Except I want more followers. Stuff. Yeah, I want more followers, and I want my.
Does it matter if you're not on the first page though? Like, how many followers do you need to be on the first page of the leaderboard? Ooh.
Tony, is that within our group or is that in general? Because in general, of course, it's over.
In general, the number's got to be like a dozen.
But our group, like if it's our group,
I think VCon, there's just going to be crying left and right at VCon next week.
You guys saw the Gary V video that I sent yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't think I did.
Have you not seen it?
Lou, if you could pull it up, feel free.
Let's watch it.
I can't like pull up media or anything on my computer because I'll just be like a boomer again. I do think something that would be great for Tony and or EZ, shout out to Tony and EZ, to do would be to have like an NFT NYC team that we could play. And so if you see X occurrence, then you can mark it off on your square. Crying would be good. Hardware wallet, somebody just showing a hardware wallet for some reason. What else?
Someone decked out in full MAYC, like the bright green, like the nasty looking MAYC, the Mutant Ape merch.
Yeah.
If you see Shamdu or something, like that'd be funny. Spot Shamdu.
How do you react to Shamdu?
You gotta go talk to him. If you see, you gotta talk to him if you see him. No,
I don't want to talk to a minor at NFT NYC. I just don't like.
No, talking about minors, should I bring
even though he runs?
Why does it matter if he's a minor?
Yeah.
I don't know. That feels weird.
Daggy doesn't want to be the free candy van guy.
Yeah, do you have to stay 100 feet away from schools too?
My legal troubles are none of your business, Bex.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
Who do you love the most in the world?
My family.
Good. Who in your family? Pick one.
All of them.
You're very politically correct. Cool. Every day, make like literally once a day, genuinely sit there for 5 minutes and make pretend one of them got shot in the face.
Oh man,
I love that. Pretend they got shot in the face.
Why was he so aggressive?
How good is that?
Pick one. He's like so. I used to listen to Gary, and he would. I always thought that was kind of weird too. He would like wait. He like wakes up every day and immediately to be like grateful. He thinks about like his life's worst case scenarios, and that involves his like family dying like gruesome deaths and stuff. So he'll think about that so that he is more grateful throughout the day. I don't know. It's a weird, whacked out mind trick, but I guess it works for him.
I couldn't even believe it was real when I first watched it.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, the whole beginning, like the music, it's like, oh, your family. Like he's gonna say something great.
Touching. He's gonna say something very motivational.
Say. And then that's what he said. And I was like, that was even better than what I thought. Gary.
So fun.
What a guy.
I kind of get the point because if especially during a giant bull run in a echo chamber like this, you compare yourself to people who have done X, Y, and Z, and then you compare up versus comparing down, and then it messes with your head. Right now, all of us are down, so who gives a shit? We're all done anyway. So we're all just friends in Goblin Town. Oh man, I should have gotten a goblin suit. That would have been so sick.
If you wore a goblin suit, it would have been awesome.
Yeah.
With a sign in the background, Goblin Town.
Goblin Town, USA.
Yeah. What have we, Lou? Have we gotten to the bottom of the OpenSea volume from today or recently? Because I know we were talking about it in the chat, but it was super low. Which we could all feel like
2 million.
Which I think like a low day in like July was like
yesterday was 30, which was the lowest since July.
Yeah, right, yeah. And that think back to July, like collections, like if you had a 5 ETH floor in July, it was a huge floor, right? So like getting the volume back then was harder because there just wasn't as many like high dollar value projects being traded. So like think of like how little activity that means today compared to July, right? Like
that's true.
You want to know the two biggest projects on the 24-hour volume chart? The only two that are above 1,000 ETH traded right now are OK Bears and not OK Bears. If you go to Gem right now, they're literally
down
1 and 2.
Bad.
Not
OK Bears got up to 0.45 and then it crashed back down to 0.1.
Okay, so when were the
0.1?
Yeah, I think they bounced to back 0.18 now, but they're pretty volatile.
God. Not OK Bears.
Is that a 10K mint or what?
Yeah, 10K.
Wow,
dude!
It was this morning.
Babs, this is what our bears on the block were supposed to be. Can
I
you
know.
believe this? This is
We got robbed. We got robbed.
Oh my God, they do look like the bears on the block.
That's what I'm
They
saying.
do. They do. They look quite similar, actually.
These remind me of goons.
Yeah.
Bears on the block still.
I can see that.
What do you guys think the Bears on the block floor is right now?
It's probably like
This is a good
0.01.
game.
Oh my God.
I looked at the
I bet it is. I bet it's above
Yeah.
0.01. I would say
no, because like
0.01.
Bulls were pretty down
9.
bad. So like I was thinking
Really?
Bulls. Like last time I checked on
Bears
Bulls, they
look
were
better.
like
Remember when that was-
0.01.
They do
That
look.
was our discussion. We were trying to
Yeah.
decide whether Bears were going to flip the Bulls, but
They looked
in
way better.
reality,
I
it
actually like
didn't matter. They both
No.
suck.
I actually like the Bears though in terms of like actual art and PFP. The Bears were not bad. They were pretty
Babs
good.
will never admit that the Bears and Bulls just suck.
Well,
Bulls
yeah, they
on
suck
the
because
block
the guy like
is
rugged
less-
everyone, but
Should have been a smash.
it
Who
should've.
It should have been.
ruined it? Someone bought
Beanie.
like
Beanie
I mean,
ruined it
talk
because I
about
flooded
blowing
that
a-
morning.
Talk about blowing a 28-3 lead. Like that's
Oh, they did. They did.
like that was just ridiculous. Like every project,
They had
like,
all the
cool-
hype.
They were in that bucket with Bored Apes, Cool Cat. Well, maybe not Bored Apes, but like Cool Cats.
They were there.
The Cool Cats.
Gutter
what were the
cats,
other ones?
gutter
Cats.
cats.
Yeah,
like
that
they
was
were
around
they were
that
hyped.
time.
They were super hyped.
Absolutely, they were
goats. The
super
goats
hyped.
were around then.
Oh, yeah, the goats.
Don't put the goats never really got up.
But the
though.
goats didn't do
No,
much.
but they were a
though.
hype
No.
drop.
Yeah,
I know they were hype
were
drop,
hype.
but like Bulls got up to 0.5 floor, I think, at
Yeah,
one
they did.
point.
Yeah,
The-
it was like
I don't think the
Immediately.
goats.
yeah.
They
Yeah.
were like, because you had to gas up.
Oh yeah,
The
I got a
cost-
lava
cost
bowl.
too much.
I
Cost
did a
basis
lava bowl.
was-
That was my first big NFT hit.
Yeah.
Didn't the goats have like a replicator or something? They had some weird mechanic
It was
with
like
the
a
goats.
burn.
You could
it was a
merge. You can
burn.
merge
You
them,
can use
right?
traits. You could use
them,
different
right? Can you
traits.
burn one?
Yeah.
I think
You
right?
take one trait from each.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think they had like baby goats or something too. Like they're still building. They're building.
Just like the lions, the lazy lions, man.
It's Lions,
Roars.
Cubs.
How are the lazy lions doing? Oh my god.
They're doing their Cubs this week, so
They've
pumped
been
them
around
up.
for so
They're back
long.
around one.
Oh my god, they're still at 0.9.
because
That's
of the
insane.
Cubs. You get
Yeah.
an airdrop. There's a couple like airdrops they're getting, so
That's wild.
they're holding.
Yeah, there's just,
Fucking lazy lions.
I feel like these are kind of like can we come up with new ideas like diluting these
No.
collections that are only one ETH floor? Like it's
They're
just killing.
pulling
Like there's so many people are
out.
doing this, like Alien Friends, World of Women, like
They know
Chain
they're
Runners.
not
like,
going to exist in like
I
6
know.
months.
Oh, it's just like sucking it all out, right?
Yeah.
And
It's
so
I mean
many of
it's
these,
sharp.
so bearish all
from
these
them.
days. Yeah, it is, but it's bearish on the NFT market. Like that's the only thing we
Oh.
can come up with.
Why do
is
you
like,
think the Bears are crushing right now?
Yeah,
Bear season. .eth.
That's a good
That's
point, Lou.
Tony's, right?
we almost need to crash to zero to wipe out some of these things and make people
Yes.
come up with
Reset.
something new.
Storm keeps
right?
Well,
talking about reset.
Will NFTs ever like truly crash though? Just because of
Well,
this, at least not the
I think-
blue, like
right,
the
like
blue.
Yeah,
ones,
no,
you
I
know
think
what I mean?
95% of those projects will like eventually.
Like I always thought that we were just gonna see like this mass like liquidation event, right? Where it's just like everybody capitulates and it's just like, you know, everything's going down and whatever. But like,
You
is it different
can't-
for NFTs? Yeah, because they're
is.
a lot of them they're only 10,000. So Bored Apes will just hold them until they die, right? So it's like that's probably why they're still at 100 ETH floor, even though ETH is chilling at 2K.
I think you underestimate the amount of people that become attached to their PFPs.
Yeah.
Like there
I don't-
is a
no.
definite attachment for a lot of people, like Bored Apes, like their Azukis, like
Pernelpes.
yeah,
you know.
they're purrs.
There you
Like,
go.
some people just have a harder time selling, so I
Yeah.
think that artificially raises the floors, and they're okay selling for a price, but they're not going to like chase a floor down either, right? I think again why Bored Apes are still at 100 ETH floor when
I think
you-
that's why
you
it's
think they
different
should
than
be.
Top Shot.
It
Because,
is,
like there's not really much emotional connection on Top Shot unless you were like at that game. Like I've seen some people
Yeah.
post like they were in the background of one. Like that's one that you're probably gonna have an emotional attachment to.
But there's
most
1,000 of
people
them
no.
still or whatever, right? Like it's not
Yeah.
hard to go sell this
Correct.
one and go get it again
Yeah,
if you
exactly.
really want to, right? Like you might have an emotional attachment to your specific one of the 10,000 because you like that trade and it's harder to get that one again, right? So it is a little different.
I think the capitulation just might look different. Like crypto and coin capitulation looks a lot worse. But Storm has also said this: like NFT people are just built different. We're just different people who are collecting these things. Maybe we're lower on the IQ scale. Maybe we're higher.
No, really.
I mean, do you think that explains why like any like crypto Twitter like NFT is never successful? Is like they have a different mindset. Like they're just happy to dump it. Like, they don't want to hold it. They're like, I got like this is stupid.
I have done a personal case study and I can confirm that based on my bets.
100%. So I think we're starting the NFT capitulation stuff. Just look in our chat. People are literally using leverage and just saying, I'm long, I'm short, because they're bored. Just
using the
bored.
Bitcoin machine.
They're literally just bored. So we're like, what, a week from insane drama in NFTs and in DeFi, and we're already bored. So like, what happens if we get 3 weeks of nothing? Yeah. And we're just at 2K ETH. What? Like people are going to just say, I'm done. Yeah. I'm going to either walk away and they're never going to buy anything, or they're going to try to sell their JPEGs.
Or do you think they sit in coins or move it off? Because I think the big difference this time around, because of UST and people being concerned about putting it into any stable coin, I think a lot of people took it off the table, like into your actual bank account. I think that was what was different this time around. Do you agree with that?
People are pretty comfortable with USDC still.
And Tether.
But I still think Tether, people, I mean, did any of you guys move money to Coinbase?
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
Like, I moved all my money. Not all my money. I moved a lot of my money out to the bank.
Yeah.
I did too. This is like
it's a lot harder to bring it back on chain after.
But I was always planning on moving it off. I was already planning on moving it off. I just wanted to get through taxes and all that. And I was planning on moving it off. That just kind of motivated me to do it a little bit quicker than I was dragging my feet with. But
I look at the CoinGecko app to see crypto pricing. And at the top, you can see the total market cap of crypto, essentially. And when we were over 2 trillion, then I was like, oh, that's good. And then I was thinking when price was going down, like, oh, we're at 1.9. When we get back to 2 trillion, then I'll take some off the table, whatever. And we're down at like 1.3 trillion total market cap. But actually, Ansem had a tweet recently about how last time we were at this price, there was less money in crypto. So for when BTC and ETH were down here. So that means that people are keeping more money on chain. So I don't know. It depends on how many. It also doesn't matter because it's all macro stuff that I think is what matters at this point. So I don't know. We're just hanging out, talking about it, playing with our JPEGs, playing with our heroes, hopefully finding what we actually enjoy about NFTs and Ethereum and doing that. Otherwise, you're gonna walk away, which is natural, I think, because it is boring.
Yeah, even with like the not okay bears, I think there's a lot of us that we're in that chat. No, but like say in February, like that pops, we're all hopping in on that. Today we're like
100%.
You know, so I think that side of it has kind of gone away, which is keeping some of those lower end stuff out. So
I think it's the market though. Like we would have hopped in if it was 8 weeks ago, right? Like
100%.
Like, so it's not even
not okay bears or okay bears?
Yeah, not okay bears. Even okay bears. Like I looked at those and I was like, I don't like the hassle. If they were on ETH, I would have bought an okay bear. Just
they wouldn't have done as well.
Yeah, I mean, just like taking away that, like the momentum, you saw it coming. Like it was just building for 2 weeks. Like I just knew it was moving that way, and there's really nothing stopping it at that point. But again, I was lazy, and that was kind of when the market was crashing pretty hard. So.
Yeah.
What's the floor on OK Bears now? How many stole?
It was 300, I think, last time.
300, yeah. They flipped the DJ and Apes in all-time soul sales, I believe, which part of that is when DJ and Apes were at their prime, soul was like $250. So that's like part of the reasoning. It's in Sol terms. I think it's like still very far off in USD terms, but it's only been like what, 3 weeks or something since the OK Bears came out.
Was it? Yeah. Wasn't that long ago.
Yeah. The first round of FUD is that they have a lot of the similarities to Bored Apes. Like the way
that one didn't really bother me though. It was like, like their eyes are in the same spot and their chests are in the same spot. Who cares? Like everyone copies that stuff. Like it wasn't like the treats were the same. Like
they probably hired the same Fiverr artist or something. Like that's right.
That Seneca's doing those. I mean, would be crushing if you did both of those projects.
Is there a Seneca Fiverr thing? Did I miss that?
Seneca with an S is she's the artist on the board.
Oh, I was confused there too.
Seneca is doing something with MPL. Is he on the team? I think Niceman's.
I'm sure it was one of his. I bet
he was like an advisor.
Some of those I think they paid him. Yeah, they paid him to be an advisor.
Yeah.
Wait, is this real? What Jesse's saying? Their big utility is a Livestrong bracelet. What?
I mean, I don't know. That would be kind of funny.
I didn't realize the OK Bear guys, like the project guys, were the guys that made those birds. Do you remember those?
Yeah, those were like an OG. Yeah, those were an OG project.
They were like so dumb.
I remember the Bitbirds.
Yeah, so they were the same guys that made those.
So other people have used their code. Like they're pretty good devs, I think.
So this is just Azuki all over again, right? With you just keep pumping out projects until you hit the right one. You hit OK Bears, and then
Bitbirds was good for a little bit. I feel like I remember that one being around for a while.
Yeah, I like Bitbirds.
Are Bitbirds in Sol now, or is that
they do have? Yeah, they made it in Sol.
Well, they did. Yeah.
Okay.
They have them both. I think that's what a lot of projects were doing. Was they would just like
do both,
switch to Sol because of fees being lower and stuff.
I can't wait for Not Dogs on Sol, and then everyone's like, "What? This guy already made hot dogs on ETH." When they're talking about Dangy, and he's rich, and then we can fund him, and we can bring him on a Spaces,
right.
and
and then I'll start crying. I mean, that's I could probably channel that.
Man.
Maybe get Wang to do this host of Spaces.
And don't they have? You should eat like the non-beef hot dogs for when you're doing the release party. They're not hot dogs that you're eating a dozen of. Do they already exist?
Bitbirds.
Oh, Bitbirds.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Bitbirds.
different.
Yeah.
Oh, is it different? These are the Bitbirds that I remember.
No, those are the ones. Those are the guys. Those are theirs.
Those
are theirs. They're the ones that made those.
Okay.
Wasn't there a Bitbirds on ETH that had like a hooked nose?
Oh, I don't know. Those are the ones those are the guys that they made.
There's only 4 Bitbirds even listed in Sol.
Bullish.
Yeah, supply crunch.
So the latest trend for us who are ETH NFT maxis is to say, should we be in Sol? Are we late? I feel like we're already late because it feels comfy to go over to Sol.
I think
it feels comfy to go over to Sol. How many people have been making money on Sol other than the people that got in on not OK Bears or not OK Bears though?
I think people have been.
It's been for like a month, right? Like a month or two.
There's quite a bit of
I know that
there.
Sol's been around for 6 months, but like actually people flipping and there being activity that could not have been going on for more than a month or two.
I think people.
I don't know how you could say that we're like late. I guess.
I think people that mint stuff are making money on Sol. Like they mint it for 2 and they sell it for 4. Are gonna mint right? Like it's not like it's you're minting stuff for 0.08 and you're selling it for 1 ETH like we were on.
That's true.
ETH network, but like I think on Sol, like you're minting stuff for 2. There's no gas. You're flipping it for 4. Like they're little wins, but like you're not like. I don't think they were losing money really, like we were on a lot of ETH mints. But
I have a dumb idea.
If they're not losing money, then what are we doing?
Well,
you're telling me we could beat inflation by being on Sol?
I think so. Like from what I've heard people talk about is like it's you're making money if you mint. Like they're not huge wins. They're not huge wins, but
it's more of a grind.
But our wins weren't. Our wins weren't huge when we were initially doing this in ETH though. First, like my first few were like bonsai trees, and I
you're making 0.04, and
you
selling for 0.12,
or like I mean, I hit some rares or whatever.
Oh
so I got
wow,
like
whatever. Okay,
0.7,
yeah, Greg.
right? Yeah. I had the
Oh,
I had the rare trunk, the rare leaves, and the rare base thing or whatever, like whatever. But that we didn't. But those were big wins to us back then.
See, yeah, whatever it is. I know that people are you're grinding it a lot more, but yeah,
They are. But
we
to
were
that
grinding
point,
back then. Like that's how it started. Was us
Right.
just
Correct.
doing the small little flips, and then those like okay bears would be the equivalent of board apes, obviously. And then if you held those, you did way better.
Yeah.
So
the bigger argument right now is it's the same amount of volume that's happening on Sol as the Ethereum. So just the fact that there's more people doing it, those gains could become higher. The amount of people that are trying to get in on these mints and the demand for it increases. And I don't think we saw that the other time. The other time, King, I'm pretty sure King did it. He minted an Aurora and sold it for like a couple hundred Sol. And this is when Sol was $200.
yeah, I remember that.
The things are still minting stuff like the same price in Sol amount, but it's a quarter of the cost right now. And I think that's going to attract a lot of people that ETH is too expensive for.
Well, is it just a coincidence that ETH is having its? I mean, I'm looking at the Dune chart right now, like literally worst day or worst 2 days since what'd you guys say, August? So is that
July,
is that just a sign to us that, I mean, Sol volume up, ETH volume down? I mean, it sounds like ETH people might just be moving over. It's obviously
that's
not
the narrative they want you.
Yeah, well, I know, but it obviously shows in the charts if you want to try and make conclusions from it.
Does it help that you can buy them on OpenSea now? Like, does that help Sol?
Absolutely helps.
It's still all
it can't
happening
hurt.
on Magic.
Oh,
Eden,
it's not?
Really?
It's like it's over
I know Magic Eden. I've heard
the
Magic
volume.
Eden is sweet. I've actually never been on the site before.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe people were buying it off OpenSea and maybe that
It
helped.
was like when I was looking earlier, it was like 400,000 Sol traded on Magic Eden and like 60,000 on Solana on OpenSea, but it like doesn't work on OpenSea. Like I've yet to be able to successfully buy or sell an item through Sol on OpenSea. So that might be part of it. Is it's just still funky and doesn't work.
Yeah. Well, I've heard Magic Eden is good.
What else would you do on OpenSea other than buy and sell? Like that might be why there's not volume. So that's a bull case for me in Sol.
I go to Gem to do that.
But Magic Eden's way better. A couple of reasons why Magic Eden's better from my perspective is they show you rarity right there from two different sites as you're looking. So people you can snipe deals right there. And just like the interface itself is smoother. They have dark mode, which everyone loves. And it just it's a lot smoother experience. You can see history a lot easier. And gotcha. I think the fees are lower
than 2.5.
I want to say.
2.5 is kind of a lot in general, isn't it?
I mean, looks there's only 2. It's not like it's that substantially different.
Yeah, right? It's 2 transaction fee, but a lot of the royalties are less. You don't have to cancel. You don't have to pay to cancel. It's cheaper just in general with Solana. Every transaction is a penny. Cancel?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I also think part of the reason that people might be gravitating towards Sol is you won't hear the ETH gas price is so high. It costs $1,000 to mint this NFT that only costs $400 in ETH. You're not going to get that over on Sol. So I think we'll get more normies that are interested in that aren't used to the high gas costs. But that was an edge for a long time, was people were willing to pay that high gas cost, and then that's a good proxy for demand. Yeah. Over on Sol, what is the proxy for demand? I have to click my mouse. Is it still mouse clicking fest? Is that still what we're doing here when we're minting?
I think so.
Great.
Some of them have those the Dutch auction set up. I forget the way that they phrase it. The ones where people say how much they're willing to spend, and then that becomes the price.
Yeah.
Whatever they call
blind bids or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't the saying that Sol is for the poors? Only
I mean, we're talking about
until it is
minting something for $50 and flipping it for $75.
You can't wait. So better than doing nothing. I'm honestly bored. I will try anything right now. I just want something.
I think
exactly.
I'm gonna pass on Soul. I'm
gonna try it. At least
we
I'm
just
gonna
created a thread. That's how you know people are bored.
Yeah.
Created
and like Jesse in the chat is really talking me out of it. Like you can't. It's not even ClickFest anymore. They're all botted.
Oh,
so like, where's the edge? If you don't know where your edge is, what do you do?
I might bail on Soul.
If it's botted, then we're dust.
Oh man, Wax.
I don't have a
okay.
bot.
We Wax or Soul. Which one would you go to first, Dingy?
Soul,
that one's
not even
easy.
close.
Okay.
Not even close. Yeah.
Do people still use Wax?
Yes, they do. I forget who I was following, but they mentioned some collaboration with like Our Planet. There was like, they're still building Our Planet.
Has it rugged?
Dang it! Your video on Our Planet like showed up on my main YouTube page today from like 10 months ago. I was like, why?
You're welcome.
It was at the top of the homepage with like other live videos that were going on, and I was like, why? Just
I don't know. They know that you like you want to get back into Our Planet. You wanted to get some Aether, craft some goods, and then eventually get robot fighting. I would love to see Our Planet robot fighting. Curious about that. Oh my god.
There's no way they're ever going to make that, right? Like they can't have any money to make that anymore.
It depends. That's the big question for a lot of these projects. Even DeFi Kingdoms, like the hope is that they have enough runway to keep building out the actual game. But because they were the rumor or the confirmed news is that they were paying their staff in Jewel.
Was it locked?
How do you keep doing that? Maybe it's Jewel priced in USD or something, but then you're just inflating Jewel to. It just sucks. I don't know how you manage that as a business, like unless you pull it out immediately and then that's your runway. I don't know. I'm hopeful. Well, do we think Bored Ape Yacht Club is going to be able to do their metaverse?
Oh my god! Maybe. Not D-Gods got made. It just popped up on our Moby. Who's talking? We needed not D-Gods. Jaws calling me a soul noob. He had I offered him to come on today, literally.
What's like Bored Ape still has a ton of money though. Like think how much money in secondary royalties they just.
It's totally different
from other deeds. Like other people I think would have
the DeFi Kingdoms is a good one.
DeFi Kingdoms is a good example.
They have a lot of money.
Has BattleBots? Has our baby BattleBots ever made a game? Is that game coming out sometime?
Indifferent Duck just quit on people.
Yeah, when's our baby BattleBots gonna come out? I want to fight them. I don't have them anymore. I'm kidding.
Chicken Derby's still going. Unicorns are still going.
Yeah.
Moonquack's NFT. That's what Fleur is talking about.
You know what I knew? I knew that no one cares about games is when EtherOrcs actually released their game and it looks decent and no one cared. I don't know if anyone actually cares about playing these games. Convince me I'm wrong. I don't think anyone wants to waste time playing the games. They want to make money off other people wanting to play the games. And there's no one that wants to play these games. We're dust.
Correct.
Games are dust.
Yeah.
Games have been dust.
There's going to be this is my stupid thesis that I say all the damn time. There's going to be one game that proves me wrong, but that proves the rule that all these games are terrible.
Yeah.
Except for one that makes it out. And it's going to be some silly, I think it'll be a silly kind of simple game that gets played. It's not a complicated.
I could see Parallel actually being fun and people actually liking it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe like a card game kind of thing. That's something like a little bit of strategy, like basically a board game that
Benji Bananas. Honestly, a decent model of a game that could work.
Legend Maps. That's the ticket out. I'm excited to play Legend Maps. Unironically, I will play Legend Maps with some friends.
Did any of you guys play Clash of Clans?
Yeah.
I never got obsessed with it.
What if there was something like that?
Well, yeah, I think that's what probably needs to happen. Is it's got to be like an iOS app or something like that. You got to feel like you're not even really like you're not.
Wow, look at that! Philly's on top of it.
You
would know. He keeps on.
You got to feel like you're not actually playing a crypto game. it's got to just feel normal.
Yeah, it's
like
gotta
you're
be a
playing
game.
just this normal fun game,
Like
that
Angry
is
Birds.
otherwise,
I'm just playing Angry Birds
like,
and I'm making some money on the side.
obviously, everything is speculative right now, so everybody's just trying to make money on it because everybody knows that these games aren't going to be actually developed and fun to play and like maybe mainstream for like at least a year, if not 2. So I think that's kind of the current state of things, more than it is. Like I think there are going to be games that come out. What it ends up being, I don't know.
So like I know like Big Time is like they have their beta going and that looked cool. Like what do people think about that? Like is
App Store.
Is it good? Like have you heard anything? Like I saw a couple people post videos of it and stuff and it looks like a cool game. Like do people like that still? Like I know they sold a bunch of NFTs. Like is it like have you heard anything about that? Like because that was the first kind of like crypto game that actually looks cool, but again, like you don't hear people really talk about it outside of that.
Mm-hmm.
Is it more? Is it who we are, or is it the market? Like because we know we're generally profit maxis, right? We're the assholes who just flip these things. Are there people like dedicated, like in Baby BattleBots, like that's their crew? They go there, they're excited for the beta, and they're going to play it, and they're going to love it. Does that exist?
Maybe.
Yeah. Have you ever seen people talk about this upcoming great game in NFT worlds that's going to be golf and cats, kittens, maybe some grandmas are going to be there.
Oh,
I've heard people talk about that as one of the games that they're excited to play.
Okay.
Oh my God.
But maybe there are maybe that's our problem is like we're just not gamers, right? Like maybe there's a bigger gamer crowd.
What's a gamer?
You have a lot of people that are gamers.
But gamers aren't gonna like the games that are coming out of the NFT community right now. They're not even built out yet. Like half of them are just shells of what they could be.
Big Time looks cool, but I don't know if gamers would like playing it.
The games that would work, Imposters one, it's like that's a game that people like playing and whatnot. But the problem is people don't want to pay the $2,000 to be able to play the game. I think the ones that would work out is something like, say, I don't know, like Rocket League or something, where you pay for the car originally, and then you could like buy add-ons, or like some people earn them and you could buy it off of them. I don't know, something like that could work. I think the problem is just the initial raise. Then
as much as we shit on Zed, like Zed was actually halfway decent game. Like,
it was like 4 years ago that they started building it out. So I think it could be like a next cycle type thing, maybe, right? Where
it's like
a lot of these games sold out, right, on the promise of a game. Obviously, some had plans to actually build one out, and some didn't. But there are going to be some that could just continue building throughout the bear market. And like at that point, maybe that narrative starts to build once there's actually starts to form once there's actually like games that are decent and they're far enough along in development that people actually enjoy them. Because right now it's just, it's a shit show.
Yeah, I agree. It's probably like a 2 years plus away, kind of like next cycle, like when they're actually decent, right? But maybe that'll be the next bull. We'll be here for it, ready to dump our games onto unsuspecting newbies, right?
Yes, Jesse, we know about Steppen. Some people, I'm not getting involved. Some people are somewhat involved.
It feels like the same tokenomics thing about Steppen feels like the same tokenomics game as any other game, that it's going to be like profitable for a bit and you got to get out before it's not profitable.
The fact that everybody right now is like, I don't know if I want to get into it. Like, I feel like I'm too late. Makes me so much more bullish.
Yeah, do it.
On it. Like,
there are people sending that like their uncles are asking them about how to create a Solana wallet to create.
I've heard some people say like, "Oh, I spent $25,000 on shoes and I make $250 a week." I'm like, or $250 a day. I'm like, I'm not doing like spending $25,000 on shoes. Like,
here's the thing, Babs. Health is wealth, though. So you can't really put a price on if this is what's going to get you to walk around the block.
I guess
it's a little different to me, and obviously, like I do it. I see like the sinks they have in place. One big issue is I don't know what type of sinks they have on the sneakers. Like if they're going to burn the sneakers, I don't think trying to flip sneakers is necessarily any sort of play. Originally, I was thinking that like, oh, I just think the sneakers price, if anything, long term goes down. But it's the earning of the token that will also go down over time. But as of now, it's still like 3 weeks to get your money back, and it got even easier. If you bought in that cycle where everything just dumped, you could have gotten in the 3 sneakers, which earns like more. You could have gotten in for like $1,200, and you'd be earning like, I don't know, $30 a day. Like it more than that probably, like depending on what your shoes are. But like,
so the floor on them, I think, is 12 right now. Does that sound right?
Currently, which is what, like $600?
Frankie is saying you could buy a pair for $700 and you get back about 30 a day.
Yeah.
Okay.
But but it swung down into like 400 range. So like that, I mean, if you're making your money back in like 12 days, why wouldn't you do that right now?
Yeah,
it still
true.
is working
It's
in
a good
that
bet.
method. It's once you start hearing the 100 days to get your money back is, I feel like, when you can't really trust it to work for 100 days. I feel like you can trust it to work for 2 weeks.
That's fair.
You know what I mean?
That's fair.
Someone clip that. Clip it. Clip it.
Come back.
That's like that's exactly like Raid Party.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm making $200,000 a week playing Raid Party. 3 weeks later, oh, I'm down bad.
I'm just saying, there's not too many people in the system yet that are breaking it. So we're just riding it out until it's broken. I mean, we all did it with some other things that have eventually broken. And it's like,
holy shit, MoMA.
You keep just selling stuff into.
Oh my God, MoMA.
I wasn't going to say it. No.
Okay, on the way up or on the way down?
Wait,
yeah,
that's so amazing.
No. He meant when we got in, it was like $2, and then it got up to 22, and then it was between them.
Oh, is okay.
Yeah.
Is MoMA going to be? Are we going to have like
a step? There was like a week or two ago where it got over $6, and we were all like, "This doesn't feel right. How did I just make $120 on a 10-minute walk?" Like it already had the period of like, okay, this is egregiously priced. I think it's reasonably priced right now because of that dip. And more people are talking about it. I'm getting so many questions. People are like, oh, when are you going to do an article on this? And that, to me, because when I got all the requests on DeFi Kingdoms, it was at $8. Yeah. So, you know, if you did that, 3x from there. So just
is it only walking? Is it only walking?
No, you can run.
You earn more if you're running.
Yeah, so you can jog, or you can run, or you can train, I think.
So we had this guy.
The trainer is like a flex shoe. So it's walk or jog. You like turn, you choose which it was. So you earn more like the faster you're going, basically. And then Frankie's already come up with some like tricks on how to like, sort of game the system. You can like pause it. So like I would tell him, I was like, oh, do you just like pace when your dog is, you know, shitting? And he's like, no, you pause it, you wait it out, and then you start it again after. And like, we have strategies going already. We have a fun little crew that are just like walk bros right now.
Oh my God.
And it's in kilometers. Look at that. They're already bringing in.
Break my brain.
When you're up, you know.
So I'm confused. Like it tracks like your phone, like
like GPS.
Do it.
But can't you just put it on your dog and like have your dog run around all day?
I mean, if you want to put a phone on your dog, but
like make a belt for him.
Literally, you get the runner, you put it on your dog, throw them in the backyard for 10 minutes.
Couldn't you make one of those things that's like a fan, and the fan just goes in circles, and you tape your phone to it? Like, how do you not scam these?
100% gaming system.
Wasn't someone saying that
there's a max drone a day? They do like max it.
I thought that they were trying to like negate that by they were able to tell if you're going too fast almost. So like if you're on a moving train or in a car going 60 down the highway, it's like, okay, you're not actually doing that, right? Like
you have to stay within a certain range based on the shoe. Oh, odd. See,
Frankie found the rounding errors. Oh my God.
Interesting. That's a good thought. But that's really like the thing is it drops by 0.2 at a time.
So
they have a couple.
Let me get this straight. there was a lot of concern about KYCing to Yuga Labs. And now you're sending where your GPS, your current location as a crypto bro to where?
Your phone is literally already tracking that.
Your phone is, but you're not sending it to a crypto company. This isn't, if we're worried about wrench attacks, like if you tie it to a wallet worth $3 million.
I got 11 Sol in my wallet.
You have like $70 in your
But they're going to find
wallet.
you on the street. It's like wearing your Bored Ape hoodie outside. They're going to find you because they're tracking.
Oh, that's true. There's no way that, because you can't go outside without, you can't leave your house without the Bored Ape jacket.
They will find you.
Does anyone need to bring a wrench to NFT NYC anymore? Like
that's very funny. That'd be very funny. Steppen needs to have merch, by the way. I just thought about it. Like that'd be a legit, like cool brand to have for running shorts.
They might have done a
shirts
partnership with ASICs. That was my other.
I was about to say ASICs.
Long term, I was like, they could just get a brand, kind of like what Zed has done a lot of. Like, just group up with a brand, and you put that logo on the shoe. You sell that shoe separately, like editions. Like, I feel like they can do a lot of stuff like that, but I don't know if they really have.
Well, and even like what the Purrs are doing with their hoodies, how you can have almost that like clothing soul-bound NFT. If you have that tied to a shoe, then you know that shoe is walking XY. Yeah. And there's a copycat already on Avalanche. I'm trying to find it.
There's a copycat on Soul that's starting soon too.
For stepping or for
stepping? That's one of my concerns actually, is like if there's all these other projects that are going to do it. Apes are going to do a move to earn thing. They announced, like, that's the, can this last long term? They had a big raise, but the thing is, if the Apes get into the game, are people going to want step in? People will go to whichever one's earning the most, and
correct.
Eventually, if they don't burn tokens fast enough. But I mean, I burn like I'll like earn 25 tokens and have to burn 25 to 30% of them each day. Like you have to burn a lot of the tokens, and I'm actually okay with that because that means other people have to burn a lot of tokens in order to keep playing it. So that's the bull side of it to me, is they do have a lot of sinks for burning.
Watch that burn rate, because that's when Zug went from $2 to Goblin Town.
Yeah. Oh my god!
Was
Nick
when that burn rate.
Idea. Not stepping on ETH. Not stepping. Oh, that's great.
That's genius.
But it is that burn rate. Like once that burn rate starts, people stop burning it. That's when you get out. Zug should have got out that second.
And you guys knew that the burn rate was going down.
You can't sell. You can't sell without using tokens. That's one of the brilliant things they have in place.
That's really funny.
You actually, that's what Momo's saying. You have to repair the shoe before you can sell the shoe. And the longer you wait to repair, the more it costs. So they do have.
This is such an elaborate Ponzi. Good.
That is
elaborate Ponzi's are the best ones.
I love elaborate Ponzi's because it tricks people into thinking that it's not a Ponzi when it still is.
It's like buying Monkey Land with monkey coins.
Yeah, basically.
Oh god.
I still don't think that I'm early enough.
So I'm gonna be getting into stepping. I want to be part of the walking community.
I don't think you are. I think that's right about the early enough. The early enough would have been when they announced that first that raise back in, what was that, February? I remember Andy tweeted about it. If you got in right then, that was like the prime time to get in, because that was before the price of the shoes rose. And then after the price of the shoes rose, then the price of the coin rose, because you could breed, basically minting new shoes costs the coin. And so it's definitely an elaborate one.
I don't walk enough. Doesn't feel like it's worth it to me.
Small walkers.
If it was like picking up things and putting them back down, then I'd get all over that. Maybe we should come up with that kind of app.
I mean, how much do you have to walk though? Isn't it like 10
minutes? Lift into earn.
Yeah, you can literally
lift into earn.
10 minutes, Babs.
But do you have to
do up that contract
or does it just track your walking throughout the day? You have to like turn on your.
No,
shoes or
you
say
turn it
when,
on,
yeah.
and then it tracks you during that, and you turn and you switch it off. Well, it only lets you go for so long too.
Yeah,
that's tracking. It's 10 minutes. Perfect for dog walks. If you're already doing it anyway.
It's only 10 minutes is all you can do.
I'm gonna have to start walking my roommate's dog.
Depending, well, that's where it comes in. Depends on how many shoes you have. It depends on how deep into the Bonzi you are. That's how this all is. It's fun. I think it's a fun way to do it, and the way that
you like there's like
price,
grandma shoes and like it's like grandma shoes, joggers, and like marathoner
the
shoes.
way that I would word it, because before Price gets on me for this, the way that I would word it is it depends on your risk tolerance. If you're someone that losing $1,000 wouldn't be the worst thing for you, then you have a lot less to risk. If $1,000 is a high percentage of your portfolio, don't do this because you're not going to be able to really flip the sneakers or anything. Like, your profitability is still a few weeks out. There's that risk to it. The coin can go down because every other coin in the world has been going down. So there's a lot of risk to that. But if you're willing to and have the ability to throw $1,000 onto Sol, like it's kind of a fun way if you're already walking to be like earning, and we've talked about it in there. Like, we're more motivated to walk when we have it because we're like, ooh, we have our energy up. Like, one day I was like, oh, I could scooter home or I could walk the half mile instead and earn tokens while I do it. So like we have noticed that it does oddly motivate you in ways, but I mean,
it changes your behavior, which is interesting.
Then don't.
The poors on Sol so happy to get their $25.
Okay, who's
I've good news.
Where does the buy pressure come from?
Yeah.
The buy of the token?
Yeah, like who are you selling it
to? You can buy to level up. You can buy to breed more
okay.
shoes.
Got it.
Breed more shoes.
Yeah.
Haven't seen that mechanic before.
They call it mint more shoes, but
Babs, I can't do this because I'm located in the United States. But at KuCoin, you can short GST. You can short this coin.
Oh, can you?
No, you cannot.
I don't know what Price is shorting it. So they have 2 tokens connected to it. There's also GMT. I think that's the one that he shorted. But I forget what price he got it in, but he did probably around $5.
What's GMT versus GST?
Yeah.
GMT is like the fancy one, and I don't think really many of us earn it. Yeah, you have to be like above level 10 to earn it.
And that's the one that he shorted?
GMT is currently $1.44. But as we saw with
like $3.50 or something. Yeah, it was higher before.
Yeah, I wish you all well. Dan, this does feel BSC, doesn't it?
It is on BSC. Yes, it is.
Wait, it is?
There was a massive arbitrage thing. Apparently, the coin on BSC was like $15, but you couldn't bridge. So there were people that were like earning thousands of dollars a day because there was a lack of coins, because there was a lack of people over there. There was like this wild people were like, how do I get money over there? The token
and Tangy was on vacation. Can you believe it? There's an arbitrage opportunity and he was on vacation.
We have to find it. Someone was talking about it. Yeah.
I'm wrapping up actually, and I'm writing up something about a missed opportunity while I was on vacation. I was hoping to have it done before the show so I could talk more about it. But it hurts. But it's a lesson that I think I've learned, that I think others will likely learn too. Hopefully, I missed out on a mutant. We'll say that I could have gotten a mutant, and I did not.
Can I give you guys another update?
What's the
on
details? I want to hear the details.
Well, I'll do it next week because I want to do. I'll do the.
You're like writing a Medium article. Oh, okay. So you're like writing a Medium article.
A mirror.xyz article, yeah. And I'm going to do a technical one
like Zagabond
after.
Yeah. Farming that airdrop.
Yeah. Did you have 3 other?
You read that thread.
That's it. That's what he's
Oh.
doing. I knew it.
There's an airdrop
I
for
would-
mirror.xyz. If
No,
you
No,
post
no,
that's
no.
just like one of the. That's like one of the things that you can farm right now. Like if Mirror does drop a token at some point in the future, then it'll probably go to people that have been like posting articles and writing on their site and stuff. So
Heck
Yeah.
Yeah.
maybe that's where I put my step-in article.
To be clear, like I was doing
I
the
was
this on Mirror before I saw that, but it's also a great reason to do so.
Yeah.
And a great reason to split it up into 2 separate ones. So yeah, you'll see
Do
that.
you guys
later.
have any Greg Love hats? Greg
No.
loves hats.
What is-
'Cause
I
it's
missed.
what is
I
this?
missed Greg Love
0.15
that.
floor.
No, was that the free one? That was only 1,200. That job posted.
It's the one that G Wars posted. He had his.
Are we
Greg hat.
back?
God damn it, I was
I mean,
cooking
we're
dinner.
back
feel
to
like-
stupid man.
Honestly, I feel like it's like
Fuck.
kind of like the summer where we're so bored, and it's just like we'll mint like they'll mint anything, and
Thanks.
people like don't want. They just want to mint something because we're bored, right? Like not okay bears is
Actually-
a perfect example of that.
I think, yeah.
I think
I
it-
mean,
I do remember this when volume was really low. I forget what month, but Walter did a lot of work when volume was really low, and he's doing it again, man.
yeah.
So
You're
it's
just
his
pumping
time to
them
shine.
Honestly,
Because there was that one phase where there was like too many free mints and like too many copycats. Like I think it was kind of like in January or something. Like Moby they pop up like every like 2 hours, like, and that was like too excessive. But now like they kind of cleared out again, and like none of that stuff's really popping up. I could see like it getting back to that period where Walter was doing work, and we just get bored minting 0.01 things again, right? Maybe we
Shout
need
out to
that.
Nick.
it's back to the poor part of the cycle.
Yeah.
Where people are going into Soul NFT because all of these ETH NFTs are too expensive. They're saying, "Oh, we're gonna go down to 0.6 is the bottom of our Dutch auction. No one's gonna buy it."
Yeah.
People are looking for free mints, cheap stuff because they're scared to spend too much money right now. So maybe these cheap things are gonna thrive. Maybe we just need some not Dugs on Soul, and it's just their time to shine. We already have the merch.
Are people already tired of the UST Luna stuff? Because we haven't talked at all about that, but it's all over the world.
We talked
can
about
we
it last.
just
We
kill
talked
it
about it a
already?
bit. We talked about it a bit when you weren't here. When you ditched us for
Yeah.
your vacation. But like,
It hadn't really collapsed at that.
no,
point,
it didn't
though.
collapse.
Like
all
especially
the way.
Luna. I don't remember what Luna was at on last Monday, but
Probably like $15 or something.
Yeah,
Was
it
it?
didn't totally collapse. Yeah, you're right.
I mean that's a pretty big collapse, but not 100% collapse.
Do you
like
think
like
Terra
yeah.
could come back from this in any way?
No,
What,
I can't
what I mean by
imagine that
that
it does.
is they did have a pretty functional blockchain from what like the tech side of it. Like, do you think they'll launch a new chain or something like that with
Sure, they'll
similar
try to
tech?
fork it.
Is that an accomplishment these days? Like DeFi Kingdoms launched a pretty functional blockchain. Does that matter?
no.
Maybe they'll move to DFK chain.
Well, like, what is the point? Yeah, Beachhead. Yeah, that watching that was crazy, and then watching the big gigantic numbers, like, oh, if you invested $8 billion in it a month ago, you had 45 cents. Like
It is insane. It
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense. Like,
You
it
literally could have
blows my
lost
mind.
$1 million in 2 days.
The best
People
tweet,
did. People.
the be- yeah.
Someone apparently lost 2 billion.
the best
I don't
tweet
know
ever
if
was that
that's
guy
real,
that's like,
but-
"Oh, I put all my money into Luna because it's down 96% and it can only go down another 4."
It's like, yeah, it's the epitome. It's the epitome of the
Oh,
saying
man.
that just because it goes down 99% doesn't mean that it can't go down another 99% or whatever. it is.
The best was
'Cause it's
being
so
in the
true.
DeFi channel and Daggy would send like all the liquidations as they were getting tweeted. Like, yep, $100 million just liquidated.
Insane. And people were trying to like long at 30, 20, 10, thinking it was going to go back up, and it just straight down.
I bought some
down.
at 15.
Oh no, Lou.
Oh no.
I mean, it wasn't too long before I sold it, but I mean, there were times where if you bought it at the right time, it went
Yeah,
up.
it
Didn't
bounced a
Ori
bit.
have
Well-
a good one, a 3x at one point?
When when did Luna go up? The Luna price went up when they stopped the blockchain because then they stopped printing Luna. Like that's when it went up.
Well, didn't Walter buy today at 0.0001 and now it got up to like 0.0002, so he like double his money?
Yeah, he'll send screenshots of him up 400% or whatever on some crazy margin long, but he doesn't show when he's down 300% because it flipped.
What are you saying, Jamie?
I'm saying that people like to share their wins and not their losses. That's all that I'm saying. That's it. Not Walter. I'm not specifically him. I'm saying just people in general.
Walter's not the one that's going to get upset by that.
No, not at all. 6.9 trillion. I think they're going to fork the chain. I don't think it's going to live because yes, a lot of people have built on Terra, but like, did you know Terra for anything else?
Nobody trusts it anymore, and that's what it was all built on. Like it was all built on his ego. Well, yeah. I mean, it was built on UST, but like, I don't think it would have gotten to that point without him being so like arrogant and confident on Twitter and he was right for so long. Like he constantly was proving those haters wrong until he wasn't. So I think like that's what I was saying in the DeFi channel. Part of me thinks that it was like his experiment. He already failed at creating a stablecoin before, so he was trying that, right? He was trying this like new thing of let's see if like it, in order for an algo stablecoin to work, you need like this ridiculous amount of trust to the point where you almost have like cult like people in there, so that when you do get those depeggings, it's easily defended and people trust that it'll go back, because that's what it's all built upon. Yeah. So like part of me thinks that was like him playing like this persona, like I need to do this in order for it to work type thing, because he knew that his last one didn't, or he's just a complete dumbass and like is so egotistical that he just couldn't see the writing on the wall. I don't know, but part of me thinks that it was him just trying to build trust in the coin.
Like whatever happened, what was the guy from Olympus? What was his name? Wasn't he kind of like that too?
Oh,
talked very highly of it. With an S.
Are you talking about Danny?
Sifu?
Danny, yeah. Danielle,
Sifu,
right?
or Sifu's the other guy.
Yeah, they got caught up. Danielle and Sifu got caught up and stuff. Yeah, they're both very arrogant, I think. But also, to Trey's point, I think there's a thin line between arrogance and confidence, and you have to present confidence, especially if you're the CEO of a company with X billion dollars of assets, and you have so much money that's defending, and then you have your friends at Jump Crypto defending, and they're now down incredibly bad. It's the good news is for the next bull run, it's clear that the VCs are out of money, so we're going to be fine as far as VCs dumping on.
They might be insolvent. Right? Like, have we seen anything on that yet? Like, are any of these like filing for bankruptcy yet, or?
Not yet.
There was some heavy. It sounds like there were some huge bags in that. I mean, it goes without saying, but just to see like how intertwined some of those massive like VC firms and stuff were is kind of crazy. And then seeing Raul Paul's like reaction to it, like that just is so funny. So yeah, what a crazy week.
Yeah,
that's a great point. Philly, Philly, you're having a great show, Philly.
Yeah, like we gotta pin that somewhere. Like that's the epitome of it. I mean, that describes it right there, I think.
I like it. I don't know what that means in the StreamYard world. What the only NFT, there's two NFT projects that I'm watching. I'm watching Possessed, which is minting a question mark, and I'm watching Meme Land, which is minting question mark. And I'm watching. There's another nerd one that's all on chain.
Lonely Pop, man. Gotta be watching Lonely Pop.
That one has no date yet either.
Yeah. I don't think we. I don't think we.
Are any of these going to be public though, or is it going to be mainly whitelist?
Probably raffle.
Do we know yet?
It's got to be mostly raffle, you would think. And I was thinking about it today, like. These projects are all like that, the Office meme where everyone's like on a standoff of like who's going to mint first in this really terrible marketing condition. Nobody wants to go first to try to bring people out of it, because you saw like Forgotten Runes Wizards. if they had minted 2
arrogance.
weeks ago, they would have minted out at 0.6. They would have, but not this week.
I think that 0.6 was too high even 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I think 0.6 was
just based on their like main collection.
Yeah,
like, if their main collection was like it just wasn't enough margin there, right?
How
Like,
many did they sell?
4,000.
They actually minted
At
4,000.
0.6. 4,000 minted at 0.6.
Yeah,
I mean that might have been the right play then.
Yeah,
you can get 4,000.
It's equal to fully minting at 0.15. I think they could have fully minted at 2.5 or 3.
Yeah,
they would have made more.
I guess that's an argument for a Dutch auction then, right?
Yeah,
you give like as a builder or as a creator.
Well, it was Dutch auction with a 0.6.
It was a Dutch auction.
0.6
stopped it at 0.6.
Okay, well then that's just dumb. Like
they didn't let the market decide.
Why would you? Yeah, why would you limit it to that? Like you're saying, oh, I wouldn't take like my project's so valuable that I wouldn't take 0.5 for it. Really? Like, I mean, why would you not just set it to like 0.2?
Bring up Kyle's comment.
I think I think that is part of the issue too. It's like you want to add that many more tokens. You want to start building this thing out. Wouldn't you also want it to sell out faster?
But they said it's a 10-year project or something. They don't care.
No, I know, but like, then why are you dropping it right now in like the worst conditions ever?
That's so true.
Your goal is.
I'm trying to message Kyle. I can't even text Kyle. This is so bad. I'm gonna go on my phone now just to message Kyle in the chat.
Why are you texting Kyle?
I'm mad at Kyle. I'm gonna fight him in the chat. Hold on.
Because he said that you had a very bad intro. You did. You kept
for some reason, your like Dangy's face popped up for a second too.
It's the scariest thing I've ever seen. I was like, "Whoa!"
Oh man,
I can't wait to watch it back because like I don't know, I don't know what's happening, and I'm
very bad. It was pretty classic though. It was really so funny.
God,
we're down so bad.
I mean, you guys are lucky there's content. You're lucky that we're out here talking for an hour and a half about.
Oh, we laugh. I'm like, what are we even going to talk about today?
We always find something though. I like even in a bear market.
Hanging out. It's funny. We talk about grandmas for an hour and a half. Like, what's your favorite grandma trait? You know.
Oh yeah, we were supposed to talk about that.
I haven't minted my
grandma
trait. I haven't either.
I think I have one.
I minted my 7. I got pretty grandma-y ones.
I have 2 fez hats. Like, why do I get all these fez hats?
I really got.
I have a couple that I have scarves. All of them basically have scarves that I have. None of them really look like
keep you warm in the winter.
I gotta move my purse off my ledger.
You have your purse on your ledger. Don't want those stolen.
Well, I had like 20. I literally had 25 of them at one point, and they were like 0.7 each. So like I was going collection by collection when I was moving when I first got my ledger. So I was like,
what is the
I was like, well, I don't want all my purse taken, so I moved them over. But yeah, now it's just annoying when I have to go claim all this shit, and I'm like,
top 5 top signals. Trey moving his purse onto his ledger.
Yeah, that was no shit. Yeah, that is probably so true. I don't even remember. I would be interested to see when that happened.
Yeah.
It
we
was
didn't even
talk
about
when that happened.
Boy either.
I was talking to you. Yeah, dang.
There was a scam pump in the PERS, and then I tried to ARB the pool, and I failed and lost money trying to ARB the pool.
Looks rare rewards.
Oh,
no.
I wasn't even ARBing the pool. I was buying PERS in the pool because they were devalued, and then I held them. And
yes, Babs. This was the NFTX pool.
Yeah, it was a weird pump. It went up to like 0.8 or something that one day, 0.9. Like,
yeah.
That's also exactly why they popped on the looks rare.
Wasn't it because like Carlini helped all of his friends get rich with something else? It was like they're like, oh, thanks for getting us so rich off of flow or something. Let's go sweep your purse and
that was like the original.
Yeah, unlock or something.
That's true. Oh, the flow, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Leany got out okay on flow. It was touch and go for a while there with flow. I don't know. Enough about Carlini's bags.
Can we talk about Does the shill know that he bought that grandma for 0.4?
He bought
He
eight
bought eight.
grandmas.
It was grandma.
It was still a terrible
Check the
decision,
chain.
but he bought 8 of them. It wasn't just
Oh,
one.
it was an 8-pack.
He's still probably very
Yeah.
down bad
Okay.
to buy 8 grandmas.
It
for that
showed up
much,
as
but-
one. That's why I was like, wait a second.
No, it's really
bought
annoying
8
about
grandmas?
OpenSea. OpenSea lately will show like I don't know if you guys noticed. It'll show like the last sale was like 0.6, and it's like well,
Yeah.
before was like 0.1 on that, but then it'll
Adidas.
it'll
that
have like
happened on-
it's kind of annoying how it always does
Adidas
that
was
now.
it messes with the Adidas. Like I hid the Adidas thing from my WGMI because it always messes up the value in it.
Yeah, it does that
Super
for
It's
any
because
like
so many people
1155.
use 721s and then 1155s mess up all these tools. Like Nerds. I don't know why Nerds doesn't support 1155s, but they don't.
Yeah.
It just looks weird. I think it's because they probably parse like the Etherscan API differently, or there's a specific event they look at 721s. I don't know. We'll see once I get my actual computer up and running. I'll look at the node and see what the hell's going on. Sort it out.
Can you explain the node thing to me? Like,
yeah, you
What
know
he's
how
currently
you
using?
when you go to it's just it's literally a computer. But if you go to MetaMask and you go to connect to another one, how you could connect to like Flashbot's RPC, that's a node. So what I'm so I'll be able to connect through that instead of using the main one. And what that also lets me do is I can see all the Ethereum transactions in the mempool. And so that's really what I wanted was for looking at the mempool.
What's the benefit of that?
You'll hear more about that later this week.
Okay. I'm just curious.
That's where you see the pending, like the transactions come in, right? And then they get picked by the validators or whatever. Or I guess right now it's by the people that are doing proof of work. But
correct.
And that's how the MEV bots run, right? They look at the mempool and then they throw in a transaction and sandwich it based on it not going through fast enough.
Yeah, they can simulate when a transaction gets in the mempool. Are you going to be profitable? If you are, I'm going to go beat you by 1 Gwei. And there's like 3 people care, but there's actually a really neat video about that. And a guy didn't verify a contract, made a brand new contract with brand new methods named differently. And then a mevbot sniped him because he intentionally did it so he would make money and sent it with lowish gas, I think. And then just the bot saw that you make money, and then there you go. That's it. So they'll literally just find every transaction and then simulate it and then make money off you. It's crazy.
Crazy. It is crazy. MEV. That's why aren't you doing MEV yet? Dangy, isn't that where all the money is to be made, right? Like write a bot and start dumping on us.
As much anymore? Because that's still profitable?
It's still profitable. It is
tighter returns.
They were making so much money over the last year.
There's someone who compiled using Python because they shared their script how much mevbots got in this Luna cascade, and good lord, lord, they got a lot out of this Luna stuff. You could run a mevbot. There's a lot of mevbots. You need to find a specific edge. No one's going to help you find an edge in Mev. It's very competitive.
Yep.
So no, I'm not planning to.
You got to be like you got to be like giga smart to be able to even figure it out. You got to be smart enough to do it on your own. You can't just go watch like a YouTube course or jump in clubngmi and expect to learn how to mevbot, right? Dang, you rug us.
I think he froze.
Dangy totally rug us.
That no internet.
It's Ethereum computer.
Latest lattice. How do you even say it? Did you get that, Trey?
What's that?
The lattice.
Do you have one?
The ledger.
Yeah, I have one.
But the lattice one.
Yeah, I love it.
That's awesome. The next one I was looking at. Is it like that much better than a ledger?
Yes.
Pretty sweet.
What's the advantages? It's just easier to use.
Yes.
Yeah.
You should always. I think everybody should have a ledger if you're traveling. Like I saw a story about somebody who like had all of their Luna and they were on vacation and their ledger was back home and they literally could not even transact, right?
Yeah.
So it kind of depends. You kind of have to strategize around it. Like, do you really want to put, like, if you're going to have your grid and you're going to have all of your main crypto on it, do you want to be bringing that around? Like,
where
when you're on
ledger's easy to
vacation?
carry
No.
with you.
Whereas like my ledger, it's just like I have some NFTs that I know that I could potentially sell soonish, but like most of my Grail stuff and just like ETH that I want to be a savings account, I throw into my grid and do it that way. So I think it's and you can have different, you have like
my ledger for
I haven't gotten super into like the different cards and stuff, but basically you like just order different like seed cards, I guess, and you plug them into the device and it just works like kind of seamlessly. So it's pretty slick. I don't know if they're still available. I know that they kind of come on the market and then go off the market pretty quick. So you kind of have to just be ready for it and get notified when it happens. But I would recommend it, especially if you're it's really only for like heavy users though, for sure.
We don't have any money anymore though. Like, what do we need it for now? Right?
Yeah.
I feel like
it's a good way to separate
over
like
under
DeFi, NFTs, all that stablecoin farming.
How many people do you think are going to bring a ledger with them to NFT NYC?
A lot.
Is that like the dumbest thing you could do, or what?
I will 100. I'll have mine there, but I won't have
definitely
mine
people doing it
if I go.
But was it dumb though?
I
Like,
won't have a ton.
Yeah,
it depends on what you have.
Still need your.
I mean, that's the only.
It still needs your computer. Like, they wouldn't have to steal just your ledger. They need your computer too.
Well, isn't that the whole wrench idea?
I mean, it would have to be a $5 wrench attack. Like, they follow you back to your hotel room and like threaten you and stuff. So yeah, I mean,
like, you.
But that's
a target.
But you'd have a target just going to those events anyway, right? Like the wrench, if they're wrench attacking you, they're going to ask for you to open your computer up and send them all your ETH anyway, right? Like, what's the ledger's not going to save you if they're wrench attacking you. They'll make you open your computer and they'll make you send it anyway.
Not having a ledger could save you.
Well, if it's
maybe I don't know. You plausible deny it. Like, so you're just like, well, I don't
wear my lemons attire. No one's going to come at me.
Yeah. Exactly. So I recommend the grid, but it's just you got to have different things for.
Is it better for NFT stuff, or is it better for like your savings account? Like, what?
I do everything on it. I just created a new Chrome profile, and it's the only account I guess I have on that MetaMask, and so I try and keep it where I hardly ever use it. And even when the only site I've ever connected to is Etherscan. So even when I've like sent NFTs to and from, I've always used I actually go into the contract like of my Azukis, and I'll like call the transfer to function or whatever. So I try to be really, really, really safe with that. My ledger, I'm obviously safe with, but I've signed transactions and done like some NFT stuff on it to like claim certain things. And then MetaMask is just complete degen. We'll pretty much connect to anything and sign anything. So I don't know. It works in my head. I love what is with your username, dude?
He must have done that on purpose. No,
but yeah, he had to.
Backwards.
What's up?
It's
How's it going?
What were we talking about?
Nothing.
You landing the plane? Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, you can land the plane.
I was trying to upload a fun video, and I don't think it hopped on. Do we have?
Can we land the plane with Crypto Boy?
That's what I was trying to upload.
Yes,
it's not
the remix.
Yeah, he's got to have
you got to have the guy in it. Yeah, you have to have the guy.
You can't have the original one.
You know what was really sad about is no one in our chat did the
gave him money,
having a bath in your kid's pool to say, I was gonna do it. The day he's like, you can't. You're too rich.
I don't even know what you guys are talking about.
Well, because he said he uploaded a video and said like, oh, this is what I had to shower. Like, this is why this is so thing. And I said I was gonna go to my kid's kiddie pool and go outside and have a bath and be like, please send me NFTs. Put my address.
Oh yeah, I remember. You were supposed to do that. We were talking about
the day you said I couldn't because I'm rich enough or something.
People were
someone else to do
right. That's why you had to do it, and we were talking about whether or not to wear a shirt.
Yeah,
we had that discussion already.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
You should have asked.
Yeah, maybe I'll do it still.
that I guess, are we leaving people off with this Crypto Boy video?
Yeah,
It's finally uploaded.
Yeah,
we're so glad you made it. We'll see you guys next week.
I don't care about your crypto boy. I'm not even
You always seem to find a way to tear things down, but this Ethereum is gonna get me out this town. You seen these dips yet? We could be so rich, but I won't take it to the moon if you don't wanna come with. You're a musician, you work it